Over the past few weeks, I've been rehearsing at home, mostly for my performance. This was one of the important things that I hoped I could accomplish and achieve by deciding to rehearse and perform as a solo artist instead of a band, that I would get enough time to um, rehearse at home individually. That is one of the reasons why I don't have a lot of videos. So over the past few weeks, leading up to the Easter holidays, um, I've been constantly rehearsing at home. It's not been very frequent. Well, it hasn't been very systematic or in a rehearsal timetable, because I would play whenever I would get the chance at home to do so. The rehearsals were structured as more of practice. So initially, in the first few weeks after my last blog, I would just play the songs over and over again. Mostly Butterfly, because that was the one I was most uncomfortable with at that point. And I would just play the songs without taking down feedback, writing notes, and then trying to improve upon those, because simply so that I can get used to how the song works, structure of the song, and then subconsciously taking notes of the things that I could improve upon. So initially it was more of just getting used to the songs. So the first three songs that I listed were Butterfly, Under the Bridge, and With or Without You. So Butterfly and Under the Bridge were easy to rehearse, and I rehearsed in school as well, as some of the videos show, because all you need is simply just a guitar. However, with or Without You, it's more tricky to rehearse because I need a loop and an amplifier. So therefore, I would only rehearse at home and sometimes in school. I did perform at a TED Talk as well, which I counted as one of my rehearsals because it didn't go as planned. And once the video is uploaded, then I will put it up onto the website. With the loop pedal, like I said, I could only do it at home, and With or Without You was one of the songs. Is the only song that I intend to use my loop pedal for. So I decided that I would like to mix the song, do a mashup of With or Without You, because of the chords being so simple. And me and some of my classmates discovered this and came across this when I brought the loop into school before my TED Talk when I was rehearsing, and we were just playing the chords. And you can sing a variety of different songs to these chords. So we just kept recording songs, looping them on top of one another, and I realized that I could play Sweet Child of Mine and sing Sweet Child of Mine over this. And so I started after a week before Easter, I believe, which would be 3 weeks ago from now. I decided that I was going to mash up With or Without You with Sweet Child of Mine, and I went on YouTube, did some research of how other people could do it, because I had an idea, but I wanted to get the technicalities of the loop correct. So I did some research and found someone who did a mashup of With or Without You and Sweet Child of Mine, and took influences from that, and then started to work and develop. And that's when I started to properly rehearse With or Without You on the loop, trying to figure out the loops. Because initially, the important thing was making sure the loops were accurate, in the sense that I knew what every part of the loop would consist of. I knew all the different parts and how to play them, so getting that right was the first thing. And then I had to put them together into a song, which was another thing. And then the most difficult part was getting everything accurate in time, because with a loop, it's all about the timing. And in a variety of my rehearsals, I noticed that timing was really off. And then once I got the timing correct, then I had to work on vocals and the accuracy of my guitar playing and adding effects and then trying it out differently. And I realized that the more I played it and when I performed it, it allowed me to experiment more and then mold the song into something that was my own, instead of two songs mashed together and a structured piece of influences that I took from someone else's work. So With or Without You and with or without you mashup took a long time to rehearse and get through. So I did that in stages simultaneously with rehearsing Butterfly and Under the Bridge. Now, according to my previous blogs, With or Without You and Under the Bridge and Butterfly are the songs that I've rehearsed the most, and I've been rehearsing for a very long time. However, since the Easter holidays came, I discovered a pub near my house locally that hosted an open mic night, and I attended this open mic night with the intention to gain some experience of live performance, because one thing that I've realized since doing a variety of open mic nights over the Easter holidays and playing a gig, which I will come to later on, that 50% of a great live performance is the music of what you actually play. The other half is about how you play it, the energy you bring, the various performance aspects that I haven't been rehearsing for a very long time. And therefore, I thought that I realized after doing my first open mic night that this is very crucial. In the songs that I was really comfortable with, the songs aren't in my set list that I'm aiming to perform. So these songs that I was really comfortable with and just played, people enjoyed a lot more. Even if I wasn't singing very well or I played wrong chords, they enjoyed it because I was enjoying it and I was really comfortable with it and was able to experiment and play however I wanted to play. The songs that I wasn't comfortable with but could play accurately, the songs that I didn't enjoy or was really nervous about playing, the audience didn't enjoy them that much. Therefore, I realized that playing open mic nights and practicing my live performance was very, very crucial. Now, I'd only ever played performances in school, as in assemblies, in school performances, school concerts and gigs, and for family events. So playing at open mic nights in front of a live unknown crowd, in front of other musicians, was a very different experience. So that was the first week of Easter holidays when I came to this realization, and then started, this also led me to come up with a list of a variety of different songs that I could play, and I heard other people play at pubs and while busking. And then I started to formulate a really, really long list. I think it contains about 40, 50 songs now, of the variety of different songs that are appropriate for an audience at a pub or at an open mic night. And from this list and songs that I heard other people perform, I picked the few that I was most comfortable with or the songs that I really enjoyed, and that is now going to be my set list. So Easter holidays are finished. This is the first week back, and I have played over the Easter holidays 3 open mic nights and 1 gig. So this gig I was invited to by someone I know who's in a local band, and they were having their first actual gig apart from open mic nights at this pub which hosts the open mic nights. So this was on a Friday, and they invited me to play as their supporting act. Now this was a very, very significant opportunity for me and a very valuable opportunity for me because I used this as almost a live dress rehearsal. So I played to an audience and I played the set list that I planned to play for my performance in a few days. This taught me that I could rehearse my songs, but the important thing was, when playing live, was the order of the songs that I played them in. So I spent half an hour deciding a set list, and after doing some research, listening to artists give advice and watching a variety of different concert videos, I realized that the order you play your songs in has a massive impact on your live performance. So the ideal structure that I found out, and the reason I'm inputting this into my rehearsal blog, is because I think this is an important thing that I have rehearsed, and I don't want to just write in my rehearsal blogs of me practicing the music, but because rehearsal is more than just practicing the songs. It's about all the technical and outer aspects of rehearsing for a live performance. So I spent half an hour trying to come up with a set list for this Friday gig, of starting the set list off with a really, upbeat, empathetic, impactful song that everyone knows, everyone will enjoy, to sort of come on stage and showcase yourself, get everyone into a good mood, and be on the same level as you. And then you can start to manipulate your audience and play with their emotions by starting off really high, keeping it really good, and then bringing it down, mellowing it down, playing some nice, soft songs, and then finishing with a bang so that everyone is left in great spirits. And personally, I think through my research that this is the best way to deliver a performance and create your set list. This is the best journey to take the audience on, where you are remembered the most and the audience enjoys your performance the most. So I had to think about the audience that were going to be there on the Friday, because that audience would be very different to my audience, and I would be playing a supporting act. So I had to play according to what a supporting act should play. Therefore, I played a variety of different songs that people would understand, and I created my set list, including Mr. Brightside, because I knew that everyone would really enjoy that song, and the reaction to that song was fantastic. Little Lion Man, because that is one of my favourite busking and gig songs to play, and I think I can do it really well. Then I decided to obviously do With or Without You, Butterfly, Under the Bridge. I decided to do Get Lucky by Daft Punk, because it's a very upbeat club song that everyone knows, everyone can sing along and jive to. And then I decided that I should have one or two more songs. So one song that I learned, that I've been doing with my singing teacher for quite some time, and she said that I sing really well, is Come Together by the Beatles. This took me some time to learn, and that is something that I want to comment on now. That in these 2 weeks, I have rehearsed so intensely because of the stress and the pressure that I've had from the open mic nights, that I need something to play. And for the gig, that I really need a set list. I need to have songs that I can pick out, a basket of songs where I can just go, I can play this song, or I can play this song, depending on what I'm feeling or what the audience is feeling. Because going in with a set list is good, but if the audience is not responsive or not reacting, then you should have the ability to change your set list on the spot, because you have songs that you can just play. So in these 2 weeks, I intensely rehearsed a variety of different songs, learnt them. On the open mic night, on Come Together, I learnt an hour before I was going to play at an open mic night and played it. And obviously it didn't go exceptionally well because I just learnt the song. On the other hand, I learnt Crazy Little Thing Called Love half an hour before I was supposed to play it at the gig on last Friday. And it turned out to be really, really good. And everyone seemed to really enjoy it. Everyone clapped along and had a great positive response. This taught me that the stress of having to learn the songs and have a variety of songs to play is really good, because I have rehearsed. I had the most productive rehearsals in the span of these 2 weeks than I have had in the past 3-4 months. Because at school, I'm rehearsing and I know I have a lot of time until my performance, and I play little gigs in school here and there to a variety of classes. But that doesn't give me that pressure like these open mic nights gave me. And these 3 open mic nights that I played gave me enough productive and constructive pressure that I learnt 15 songs that I could play and play these at open mic nights. And like I said, I've had the most productive rehearsals in these few weeks because I have had somewhere where I have to perform these songs. And that's a really, really great thing that I've learned over my rehearsals. Therefore, these 2 weeks have been exceptionally productive. Whenever I can't rehearse things like With or Without You mashup because I need the loop pedal, I just did it acoustically, so. Just playing these variety of different parts. So that I know all the different parts. And don't make mistakes like that. Practicing the percussion and the drums and all of that. So therefore my rehearsals have been really, really productive in these past 2 weeks and slightly before that. In terms of rehearsing and preparing for a live performance, the open mic nights were a really good way for me to test my vocals and get really comfortable with the venue, because I spoke to the host and decided that this was going to be my venue for my final performance and organise the time and everything. And playing at this venue multiple times before my performance that's coming up has made me really comfortable with the venue. I know the PA system. I've become used to the stage, the equipment that's provided, the type of crowd that comes there. So it's now a comfort zone for me, which I think is really important. And it's not every place that you can do this, because sometimes places aren't really accessible, you haven't left yourself enough time, or they don't hold regular opportunities like open mic nights for you to play. So this has been a really, really good rehearsal and practice aspect to get used to the venue where I can play these songs. And that Friday gig, like I said, I played my complete set list in a different order because I had to change it for the crowd that was going to be there. And I learned a variety of different things while playing these gigs as well, that sometimes you lose your pick while you're playing, and you have to play with your hands, which is alright for me because I rarely use a pick. But because of that, because of rehearsing without a pick, my nail has been sort of rubbed down by the strings, and it's really painful. So this is something that I picked up from rehearsals, and now from now into my performance, I'll be using a pick. And on my performance, if I feel comfortable, I will use the pick. Otherwise, I'll use my hand and suffer a little bit of pain. But it's a final performance, so it's okay. I've also realized from live performances while and rehearsing that it's nothing goes as planned and things always change. So it's always good to be used to that and understand that things will change, and it's okay. And it's important to be able to change yourself and adapt to if songs don't go as planned, or if you don't have time as much as you intended. So it's always good to be adaptable. And these were a variety of different things that I learned from live performance in these past 2 weeks while gigging and everything. And these rehearsals have been one of the most productive ones that I've had. And my performance will be in a few days at the pub, and I look forward to that.